Today I'm going to show you a short example of how to make edible and drinkable objects. So let's click the Create button, and if we go to Holdable, if we hit Change, we get to Consumable. Now this is the type of item you need in order to create food objects. And if we click down here, the three dots, we have different attributes we can give our food items. So if we make it edible, the player will eat it, and drinkable, the player will drink it. The only difference is the sound effect. Drinkable kind of has a sound effect as if the character was drinking through a straw. So let's make an item. Let's try something simple. So maybe a piece of fruit. I was gonna say an apple, but I don't know if I can actually draw that nice of an apple freehand. So we'll just do a red fruit. Okay, so there's our outline. And normally I tend to outline everything with black, but lately I've been experimenting with not outlining objects in black and just drawing with the colors. And I kind of like the contrast of not having a black border when my character does, because all of my avatars tend to have that cartoony black outline style. So here's an apple. I'm gonna put it with Control and the arrow keys to the edge, and when I click edible, I'll give it the eating property. So I'll show you what I mean. So there's a very subtle sound effect of the character chewing the apple. And just for example, I'll make a drinkable version, and you can hear the difference. So this one is drinkable. This one is edible. So let's make a glass of milk, and then we'll have both an edible and a drinkable. So another thing I've been doing lately with, oh, that's too dark, or too light, you can't see it. There we go. So to make a really nice liquid, one thing I've been doing is adding some transparency. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna add a slightly lighter border. I'm gonna click this color, and then I'm just going to press T on my keyboard because T adds a layer of transparency. And so if I click OK to save it, now when my character holds it, it's a little bit transparent as if a real liquid would be. And when I drink it, you get that sound effect. So now we have an edible piece of fruit, an apple, and now we have our milk. So one thing we can do is we can take these a step further. So here's my glass of milk. I'm going to make it a little bit taller. I'm going to make an apple milkshake. I don't know if that's something you would make in real life. Don't know how good that would be, but just to show you the different kinds of things you can do in this game. So here's our apple milkshake. And since I'm not sure how delicious that would be, I'm actually going to give it the poisonous attribute. Now, if I give it a bit poisonous, it's not going to kill the character. It's just going to produce an interesting effect on the character. If I did very poisonous, it would kill the character instantly. So this is just going to be a bit poisonous to make it seem like it doesn't taste very good. So now we have our two base ingredients, and we want to combine them to create the apple milkshake. So what I'm going to do is create a Blender NPC. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to lighten the border. And since blenders are usually made with glass, I'm going to fill in the base. Oops. Undo that. And then I'm going to hit T again to make it transparent, because glass is transparent. And then down here, I'll add some more grays. One more lighter shade. There we go. So that's a little blender. And then I'll also just add some more color to it. Okay. So now if I click this button with the 3 dots, this is the inventory for the NPC. And if I click Apple Milkshake, this NPC now has that in its inventory. So if I click this button with the 3 lines, I can now program what I want my NPC to do. So we'll say get milk or apple, has milk and has apple. What kind of a sound effect does the blender make? Whirls, gives apple milkshake, hasn't milk or hasn't apple, splash. So this code I just wrote enables our blender to give us an apple milkshake once we put the necessary ingredients in, and it even will produce a sound effect, well, not a real sound effect, a text effect, the splash, when it's halfway there. So let's test this out. Just going to put it right there. So I'm going to equip the milk. Splash. Here's the apple. And it gives me an apple milkshake. And now when I drink it, since it's a little bit poisonous, the screen shakes a little and I'm seeing colored dots in the sky. And I believe if I drank enough of these apple milkshakes in a row, the poison would be enough to kill me. But since it's only a bit poisonous, it's not. One milkshake won't kill me. It'll just produce this interesting effect. So there you have it. That's how you make edible, that's how you make drinkable, and that's how you can combine them to create a very simple cooking activity. Thanks for watching.